Hey, what's up everybody? How we doing? Matt Modi here with OddsJam. This video just giving you a little bit of a betting preview for the Sugar Bowl between Alabama and Kansas State. So Alabama being here because they couldn't quite make it to the college football playoffs after having two losses this year, LSU and Tennessee. And then we have Kansas State here because I guess they beat TCU in their title game on Saturday. TCU still ended up making the playoffs. So good for Kansas State for getting that win regardless. And now they have a matchup here against Alabama. So I'm going to take you through the best odds and stuff for all of the major markets for this game using OddsJam to line shop for completely free. So if you want to check out the odds for this game or any other of the college football bowl games, let me just move my camera for a little bit. You can just search for a game right here. So like I want to search for Alabama. I just type in Alabama and we see it pop up right here. You can also look at some college basketball games if you want to look at them as well. So for this video, like I said, just looking at the best odds here. And in terms of the money line, no surprise that Bama is the decently heavy favorite here. As you can see, the best odds here are at -151, with the average odds being at -161. So you might say, oh, that 151 seems like a pretty good bet. It's actually not the case because the odds, or the book that is giving you these odds is Pinnacle Sportsbook. And we use Pinnacle as, well, Pinnacle is the sharpest sportsbook in the world in terms of pricing odds. So we actually use Pinnacle to be the sportsbook to set markets, and we try to basically find outliers to Pinnacle Sportsbook. So in this case, I'm not touching any of the Alabama money line odds because you see they're all pretty decently worse than the Pinnacle line at -151. If you did want to bet on Alabama, as you can see, the best odds here are at -156 across the board. Every other book, and these are the onshore sports books, right? Like the FanDuels, the DraftKings, the MGMs. They're pricing this at -165. So compared to them, the -156 is a good bet, not compared to Pinnacle, and that's the most important thing. So in terms of the Kansas State money line, pretty much across the board, you're getting +140. That's not a horrible price, considering Pinnacle has it at +128. Looks like Bet Rivers has it at +128 as well, with FanDuel at +130. That's not a horrible price if you wanted to dive in. If you thought Kansas State had a chance at the upset, which I kind of believe, their running back who went off against TCU, whose name is escaping me, is an absolute stud. And as we've seen this year, this isn't quite the same Alabama team that we're used to seeing. They probably should have had a third loss on the year when they played Texas early in the year, when Texas's starting quarterback, Quinn Ewers, got hurt. I think it was the first drive or first quarter, something like that. Probably would have lost that game. Bama would have. So not the Bama team that we know and love. So getting Kansas State at +140, not a horrible price. In terms of the point spread is where things obviously are a little bit more interesting because you can see the value between the sports books. So this page right here just shows you the main lines for what sportsbooks price it. If you click View Alternate Lines in a new tab, it pulls up where every book prices it. And this -110 at Kansas State is an awesome price. So this is actually, this is actually going to be my official bet for this game is Kansas State +3.5, -110 at BetMGM. Look across the board where every sportsbook that is pricing this market prices this at, right? PointsBet -120, Caesars -115, DraftKings -120, FanDuel -115, Betfred -120, and then BetOnline. So this is important. BetOnline is another sportsbook similar to Pinnacle that we use to set markets. So the fact that BetOnline favors Kansas State at -115 at this number is a good sign. And then Pinnacle has it as the most favored at -123. So these are pretty good prices that we are getting on Kansas State +3.5 or specifically with BetMGM at -110. So this is going to be my official bet, is this Kansas State one, +3.5, -110 at BetMGM. And then in terms of the total, not much to glean here. I mean, across the board, the total is at 54.5. Pinnacle favors it slightly going under. So if you wanted to dive in on the under on any of these sports books, you could. Wouldn't be a positive EV play, so take that with a grain of salt, but Pinnacle does slightly favor it going under. But I'm not going to have a play on the total. My official play is going to be Kansas State plus 3.5 at BetMGM. So that's going to be it. If you're tailing this, comment and let me know. Go Wildcats, and have a good one.